the opportunity to hold them. Now, of course, I didn't, but my son just dipped his hand all in there. He was all into it. But that's what it's all about, right? Getting the kids engaged in STEM. Now, some of the state agencies present included the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, the Missouri Department of, now that particular place, now they made it really fun. They brought the STEM engagement in there really cool, where they had the kids create a drink that's kind of like a float. And I mean, it was complete with the sprinkles and whatever they wanted to add. But through that demonstration, they were able to define what an aquifer was. Now, no, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to have you Google it. But it was cool how they brought in food. And like I said, the kids actually had an opportunity to make a float, the type of drink. And then they honed in or brought the full message around and tied it into STEM. Now, some of the other booths that were there was the Missouri Master Naturalist. Of course, I already mentioned the Missouri Department of Conservation, but they also had, for lack of a better word, a bug table of invertebrates. Now, it creeped me out, but as you know, both of my daughters are aspiring engineers, but my oldest is also interested in ag science, and I think she probably spent the most of her time at this table examining all the bugs that are found in our local bodies of water. I mean, like I said, it creeped me out, but it's all about getting the kids engaged in STEM activities. So I stuck around a little bit. But some federal agencies that were present, and this one really piqued my interest, is the U.S. Geological Survey booth. And I'd have to say, like I said, they were probably the second most interesting vendor, at least to me. And they talked about how it's their job, everyone's job, to prevent streams from becoming polluted. And they showed my kids and I how they monitor and test the levels of pollution all year long. So this is an ongoing effort by the U.S. Geological Survey. And then also the U.S. Coast Guard, you can't forget about them, the military extension of that's on the water. They were on hand, and they featured a cool demo that my son really liked about the biodegradable process. And then, of course, there are various civic and community agencies on site. And I mean, if you're a Kansas City native, some of these you may be familiar with, either as a kid, when you were a kid yourself, or if you have kids of your own. Agencies such as the Lakeside Nature Center. I know some of you guys are familiar with that. Also there was the Little Blue River Watershed Coalition, and they were actually raffling off a rain barrel. Now, I'm not totally into that, but hey, it's an opportunity to each his own. Someone won a rain barrel by participating at the Eco Fest on Saturday. And then last but not least, the Prairie Ecosystems Management Organization was there as well. So as you can see, we had lots of fun at this Eco Fest. But as we walked the trail, that was filled with vendors, while of course, now we were on our mission to get the stamps for our passports. We were entertained, I know, by the one and only Elvis. That's right, you heard me. It was Eco Elvis, that is. There was a man dressed like Elvis. Stay with me. Except he was in all green. But all along in the background, as we were trailing and trekking the trails, he was belting out the old time tunes of the late and great Elvis Presley. I kid you not. So not only were we entertained, we were also engaged as well. But when all was said and done, I asked my kids, as I so often do, I asked them to rate the event. How'd you like it? What was the cool part? What was kind of like, whatever, could have skipped it. Because as a parent of 3 kids in a STEM that are interested in STEM, it's a challenge to try and keep all 3 of them engaged. I have teenagers, I have a middle schooler or elementary schooler. So it's always finding that fine balance of the genders as well as the age factor. But all in all, they gave the 8th annual Eco Fest a 10. They said they really enjoyed it. And as the adult, as the parent, I couldn't agree more. It was well worth it. braving the storms and the rain to trek around the trails at the waterfall park. We also learned that this event was held in conjunction with Arbor Day. And that made all the more sense, as I go back and think about the trees and the nature part. And so, no, we didn't win a tree. But, hey, it was still a lot of family fun. So we did agree we'll be back next year. It's kind of my Arnold Schwarzenegger interpretation there. But I can't wait. They can't wait. I mean, not only was this event educational and engaging, it was also free to the public. It doesn't get any better than that. And let's see. Now also, what occurred, I want to thank the listeners today for listening to today's show, where I shared my STEM-tastic fun. That's kind of what I'm calling my weekend, where I kickstarted it by being a panelist at UMKC's first ever Women in STEM panel. And that was such an honor at the Women of Color Leadership Conference on Friday. And then, as I just mentioned, we continued our family fun at the EcoFest in Independence, Missouri, where we learned about the daily impact of STEM, the science, the technology, the engineering and math. And that's kind of where I'm focused on now with my girls in STEM training is helping them to learn that STEM is all around us. So let me take a moment to switch gears here for a minute. Before I sign off, here's my call to action to my listeners. First of all, registration is open right now for the Girls in STEM Boot Camp that I'll be hosting on July 6th through 8th at the Training Umbrella in Overland Park, Kansas. And if you're listening to the STEM Broker podcast now, of course you are, then chances are you already know a girl, or you even have a daughter, a niece, a sister, etc., that is possibly interested in a STEM career and who is in the 6th through 12th grade. And unlike any other STEM event, the Girls in STEM Boot Camp focuses on the soft skills and the career readiness side of pursuing a STEM career. Now, there is a difference. And this is where I see, as an educator, as a career readiness facilitator, this is where I see the missing link is to not only get, but to keep a girl interested in pursuing a career in STEM. And that's what the boot camp, the Girls in STEM Boot Camp, focuses on. It focuses on the big picture, not just the here and now or only just for the summer. So I encourage you to partner with us. Here's my call to action. For all my listeners, I encourage you to partner with us to do one of three of the following. And this is whether you're an individual or a business leader in the community. One of three ways to partner with us. One, sponsor just one girl to attend the Girls in STEM Boot Camp through a STEM scholarship. And these opportunities, these scholarship opportunities, start with as little as $100. $100 to sponsor one girl in the form of a STEM scholarship to attend the boot camp from July 6th through 8th. Or you can show your support by sponsoring 4 girls to attend the Girls in STEM Boot Camp at just $500. And now, not only do you help keep STEM alive in a girl's life, in the community, but you'll also expand and increase your community outreach, whether you're a business or a civic-minded individual. And that's where it all counts, the community outreach. Now, there is a third way to really make a difference in the life of a girl in STEM. This is my call to action. Sponsor a group of 10 girls at $1,000. Now, see, more than likely, a girl doesn't want to attend the event alone anyway, right? Who wants to go to a conference by themselves? I mean, think about it, whether you're a girl or an adult. Plus, this is the perfect opportunity to expand your social media footprint and gain exclusive on-site presence as well. Well, I know you're asking, April, what do I have to do? All you have to do is go to our website, thestembroker.com. Click on the Girls in STEM or the donate link to help send a girl to the Girls in STEM Boot Camp on July 6th through the 8th. Now, as always, make sure you follow us on Twitter as @TheSTEMBroker. If you're already listening to the podcast, before you click off, make sure you like us on the STEM Broker podcast page. And then last but not least, follow us on our Facebook page, The STEM Broker, for photos, latest training for adults and youth, especially the boot camp coming up, and for up-to-date info about anything STEM related. You know that's how I roll. So this has been your host, April Boyd-Noronha. Tune in. Don't forget, tune in every Monday at 9 p.m. for another The STEM broadcast, The STEM Broker podcast, where we talk about all things on girls in STEM.